All right, greetings everyone. Welcome to week 34 in the rise of Obticeo. I started this account January 1st of 2022. Used the hyperdrive bundle after one day of play, and I've been updating the account's progress every week so people can follow along. Take a look at how to stabilize a new account, build some early teams, get some participation in events. So we've been doing that. And this is the 34th week of the updates. So welcome to it. For anybody who's new to the channel, I hope you find this entertaining. If you do, remember to hit that like button. That helps me out, helps the channel. And, lets more people see this kind of content so that we can help more new players do well in the game as well. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what we've got for this week, week 34. We've gotten ourselves up to 2.67 million galactic power already, guys. This is absolutely bonkers. The account's 7 months old. It'll be officially 8 months old now, I guess. I need to say it's 8 months old because this is the 8th month and we're finishing it up. So the 8-month-old account and pushing 3 million galactic power already. The hyperdrive bundle gives you a ton of ships. We work on those ships a little bit, and the galactic power just goes straight through the roof. It's crazy. 4 million is hard conquest, and I'm already looking at this going, man, at this rate, we're going to have 4 million before we're ready for hard conquest. Crazy how fast the GP is building up. All right, 12 relics, 17 zetas. We got 4 Omicrons so far. We invested in Qui-Gon, Wisely, Iden, and Wampa. We invested in Akbar not so wisely. Wouldn't recommend that one, but the other 3 are fantastic. Need to look for an opportunity to get that Zam, Omicron, and maybe Mara Jade, so we still got some opportunities here. We got Shock Clones as a full Relic team getting us top 50 in Arena. Malevolence is getting us top 5 in Fleet. And the project was week 34 for Grievous. And I put uh-oh there because I didn't make it. Still a couple pieces short. Some bad statistics or whatever, but just didn't quite make it. Another 2 days or so. But, oh well, we'll reset a new target for another relic on a 2-week cycle, and we'll get going on this profundity stuff. Next week's energy plan, we're doing Hyena Bomber. Actually, that's going to change now. I think the Hyena Bomber is 7 stars as of today. Literally as of earlier today. I think I got my 100th shard on that. So we'll have the 7-star Hyena Bomber. We're doing the BTLB Y-Wing still, the Houndstooth, Radis. We're farming Bosk and some other stuff in the background. And then spending, our regular energy on a bunch of other stuff. The fleet energy is getting stretched thinner. We've got Outrider that we farm twice a day. The Rebel Y-Wing that we're farming. I farmed a little bit of that right at the start of the account, but it's not, I don't have enough shards of it that I'm comfortable. And then Biston's U-Wing. I was really shocked about this because I feel like, I feel like I've seen Biston's U-Wing in the shop all the time. And now that I'm looking for it, I think I only made like 2 purchases last week on Biston's U-Wing. It's not showing up in the shop for me. So maybe the rotation with Razor Crest in there, maybe Razor Crest is on the same rotation as Biston's U-Wing, and that's the issue. But I'm not picking the shards up fast enough, so I'm definitely going to have to add Biston's U-Wing to the daily farm plan and get that ship built out too. In the Cantina, we're doing mostly signal data, working on Harrison Dula still a little bit. Still got most of her 7th star left to go, so lots of shards left to farm. But I'm alternating between her and signal data. In mods, mostly speed and defense. I think we did some potency, some tenacity last week. Just I don't have a set schedule for it, so I just kind of farm speed most days and then some other mods other days. I don't really track it too well. But mostly speed and defense. My refresh strategy right now, we're doing 2 mod refreshes a day, 3 regular energy, and 2 fleet with adding Biston's U-Wing in there, I think we're going to have to go back to a third fleet refresh. And 0 Cantina refreshes, maybe 1 or 2 depending on the crystals for the whole week. And the reason we're doing that is because we're saving up crystals to make these purchases for the Relic 8 and Relic 9 characters that we need for the Profundity journey. So we're making some sacrifices, but about 100 to 150 crystals a day on average that I'm saving, which gives me almost 1,000 crystals over the course of 7 days. And that's enough to boost me up to make these crystal purchases. All right, the shop plan, we're getting Biston still out of the Cantina and the Shard Shop currency otherwise. In the guild store, looking for a lot of Carbantes. We had pretty crazy luck on getting Carbantes to show up in that store. I think I have something like 220 Carbantes, and I spent them all last week. I spend them all every week. So I really got, 200 Carbantes or more in this past week. So that was pretty fantastic. So I think we're going to have some opportunities to gear things up today. In the squad arena, we're doing our squad store. We're doing Prestige, Galactic War Stores, feeding the Shard Shop, and in fleet, of course, we're doing anything we can for the Rebel journey, that Biston's U-Wing, stuff like that. Also trying to get Rex's ship finished out. In the guild event store, working on Negotiator and saving. We've got to finish out Wampa first. We'll finish out Wampa. I think we'll go straight from Wampa into Hoda. There's no reason not to just go straight into Hermit Yoda. So we'll finish out the Wampa, get into Hermit Yoda, and go. In the Shard Shop, we got Gear 13, purples and golds. And then I added some specifics here. So what I'm specifically looking for out of the Shard Shop, I'm saving back Shard Shop currency all the time to make sure that I can always buy the Mark IV Chedak comlinks when they show up, and the Mark 8 binocular components, the ones that are kind of black with the gold outline. Those I'm constantly short on. So anytime they show up in the Shard Shop, I always want to have currency to buy those 2 things. So I only have about 500 currency in the Shard Shop. And if I see them and I buy them, I think I might have 0 currency right now because I think earlier today we had a comlink show up in there and I spent all my currency. But I try to keep a little bank there for those 2 items specifically. It's helping me out on this account quite a bit. And that brings us around to the end of the Obticeo update for the week. I'll put you back on the title page here so you can check out this clever quote that Obticeo made for the week, and I'll catch up on chat. All right, Bookish Jungle says, hello everyone, he's listening in on the drive home. Ah, nice. It's an audio book. Bookish Jungle gets the audio version. Kyber Soze says, oh boy, live. Nice. Vels is doing mod work while he's listening. Turn Zero says, ahoy. Nice. Hey, Turn Zero, I don't recognize that name. Welcome. Wilson Young says, Obticeo episode was the first video of yours I ever watched. Crazy how fast the time flies. Can't believe it's 8 months. Yeah, 8 months. Goes fast, doesn't it? Biston's ship is super rare. It's funny. I feel like I just kind of picked it up in passing on my main account. I was picking it up when I saw it on my Loquitur account. And now that I want it, it's never there. So it does have a farm node in fleet. So we'll just hit up that farm node and keep that on track. Showing signs for COVID and Hotbot over here telling me to get tickets. Tickets. That's funny. Hotbot's telling him to get tickets. I don't know how many of you are all in a guild that does that, but the guild will send out a warning. You've only got 480 tickets. Get your tickets for the day. I got a ticket miss on Obticeo the other day. I have no idea how it happened. I do my refreshes all the time, every day at the same time, and it was like, you only have 480 tickets. I'm like, how? How did I only get 400? I don't know how that happened, but I got a warning. I got a ticket warning the other day. Cop came up and slapped a ticket on my windshield while I was away. Mark 8 binocular components. Krennic uses 400 or so of those. Yeah, they're also used in relic pieces, right? So some characters use that in the finisher for the relic. So not only do you need them for leveling up characters, you also need them for relic finishers. So they're and on my locator account right now, I have to farm those pieces. I've been farming them for like 3 weeks now over there. So yeah, we're saving up money and buying them out of the shop. Is it just me, or had Vader's ships extremely low health even at R7? Vader is the glass. He's the quintessential glass cannon, right? That's like a term out of D&D or out of like World of Warcraft. A character that does tons of damage and falls over if you breathe on him. Vader's ship is like that. You know, I've said way in the past, you had to run like 2 tanks. You had to run Houndstooth and something else. Now you can run like the TIE Fighter and the Bomber. The TIE Fighter is so fast that you can usually get a target lock and get your taunt up in time. But yeah, you got to protect Vader. He is fragile. Yeah, dies in 2 hits to almost anything. Yep. It's nice with that new Interceptor. It reduces the cooldown in your capital ship by 1, so you get a reinforcement right away. So you can start out, and then after the first round, you can bring in another tank, Plo, whatever you need to keep Vader alive. It's pretty convenient. Plo is great at keeping Vader alive because it heals health and protection. And then you use his ability to put taunt back on somebody else so that you can hide Vader again. So, yeah, Vader takes some work to keep safe. How's Texas today? Not super hot where I am, but 85% humidity. Yeah, it backed off the heat just a little bit, right? It's hot, but not ridiculous. We had just such a long stretch of weather where it was 100 degrees every day. And, you know, for the people working out in the factory, that man, it always worries me when we got a job to do, we got to get it done, but that's hard on people. So we actually adjusted the break schedule, and we gave people a little extra time on breaks and tried to make it a little better for them to get out of the heat and, you know, get refreshed and get enough water. And there's only so much you can do, you know, the heat just needs to go away. So now that it's only like 96, it feels, only 96. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the alliance you're on, so hotbot is a part of life. Yeah. It's the same concept when you're driving in a rush. If you are, it's all red lights. If you're not in a rush, it's all green. Yeah, that's right. It is true. The harder you look for something to be true, the more likely it is that each time it's false, you'll recognize it. It's definitely true. It's a definite psychological phenomenon. I'm looking for Biston's ship, so it's never there. It's funny. I just started the game a few months ago, and your vids were a godsend. Really helped parse all the noisy advice out there and get me on a path I'm happy with. That's excellent. Nice. High Ground says, I like that Hotbot pings when raids are up, though. Yeah, that is nice. Scott Mobley says, hey now. I made a live stream. I think Scott Mobley comments hey now in every video. That's fantastic. He gives the comment algorithm some food. Gives me a hey now. Fantastic. Nuke says, hey DL in chat. All right. Sith Marauder ship is also good. Taunts when other stuff, when other Sith allies are damaged. Yeah, the Extinction Bomber. That's a hard farm, though. That node is not very good. And you got to just farm that ship off that node, and it's kind of like, bah. It's not the greatest. Of course, I don't know. They've added so many characters. I say that, but maybe they've added back a good character that we want to that. I should have a look at what's on that node nowadays. What's on the Extinction Bomber node? Has it changed? Let us take a look. There it is. Marauder's a good character, so building Marauder's not ever a problem. Oh, it's on the Fennec node. All right, so yeah, no, that's good. That's different. That's changed. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's valuable. You get Fennec while you're getting that Extinction Bomber. Okay, take back everything I said. That's a good node to farm now. If you want either Fennec or the ship, it's a good node to farm. Fantastic. High Ground says he's going to get some sleep. All right, see you, man. Or woman. Whatever the high ground may be. I guess I don't know gender. They, them. Yeah, so we whiffed on Grievous. We've got just a few bits to finish out here. And then I think we've still got some... you've got to farm all the cuffs. So we've got 50 pieces to farm. That'll be 3 or 4 more days of farming on Grievous. Got everything else, including the finisher, done on him. We farmed up the shock prods. I farmed that part first to commit to that. So we don't have any shock prods extra this week. We committed all of our shock prods to Grievous. So we won't get any shock prod upgrades. But, you know, let's get in here. Let's see what upgrades we can do. Quiz time. Quiz time for anybody watching. Play a little quiz. Double furnaces are so bad. Yes. And there's a couple characters, I think Gideon's one of them, that has the finisher that also needs a furnace piece. So annoying to have to farm up 150 of those furnaces. That's a lot. All right, so quiz time. Guys, I always talk about 3 layers of working on stuff. The top layer is the Relic project that you've got working on right now. That's what we focus. The second layer is what? Where do we focus our gear first? Where do we focus our gear first? Because I got all this stuff that I need. We got Profundity Journey stuff. We've got bounty hunters that we need. We've got Ewoks. We've got Padme team that we got to build up. Where do we put our second layer of gear? What do we prioritize? Your next tune to Relic. Your next Gear 12. All right. Well, look at that. You guys, you make me proud. I'm proud to have these Inquisitors on my channel, in my stream. It's exactly what we got to do. Relic Grievous. And then we got to relic this Mon Mothma. That's what we said we were going to do next. So before we do anything else, bam. It looks like we've got all the pieces we need. Those computers might be shared with Grievous. Let's go take a look real quick on Grievous. But I think we may have the whole right side already done. Yeah, we got this piece. We got this piece made. We already clicked it. So Grievous has his purple pieces committed. We just need gold pieces for him, so we can go ahead and lock down these 3 pieces for Mon Mothma already. And guess what? Furnace, not furnace. Same thing as Grievous. Be farming furnaces for the next year. Furnace Farm Deluxe. All right, and that'll put her at least on a 2-week cycle. So if we need 100 more furnaces plus the other stuff, she's going to be on a 3-week cycle. We'll finish Grievous next week, and then it'll take us 2 more weeks after we finish Grievous. Yeah, so she'll be on 2 weeks, but we'll already start farming her right after Grievous. All right, what's next? What's next? We've secured our next Gear 12 to Relic. What's next? You can tell when DL is streaming because the guild chat shows 1,000,000 upgrades. Yeah, all my upgrades popping up in chat at the same time. Another double furnace, says Blackbird. Yeah, thanks, man. Gear changes, been hearing that since I started playing. Yeah, exactly, Van Ward. It's like, there's this saying. I don't know where I heard this for the first time, but have any of you guys ever heard this saying? I've heard a duck fart underwater before. Which is to say, yeah, it's got to happen, but You know, believe it when I see it kind of a thing. So, yeah, I mean, eventually there'll be more gear changes. Eventually they'll take crystals out of fleet. That stuff is going to happen someday. So it's just kind of like when it shows up, it shows up. But until then, who cares? Don't wait for it. Don't do anything waiting on that to happen. Your GAC team, says Cody Lay. The next thing. Okay. So for me, it's all about the journey. So we have to saturate the journey with all the reasonable upgrades we can make. We constantly got to push all of these journey characters. And then we'll work on our GAC stuff with what's left over. So we had a bunch of Carbantes. Now for anybody who doesn't know, there's a really convenient thing that you can do. So let's upgrade Jin here. She's got a gear that was hung up on a smaller piece. Okay, she needs stun cuffs. We got a lot of stun cuffs. And this is, we still got one more of those. For anybody who's never paid attention to this, you can see down here at the bottom every character that needs a Carbante. So the nice thing, when you're doing these upgrades, right before you commit, you can look down here and see. Now, a lot of our journey characters are going to need Carbantes, but there's also a bunch of characters that we want to get higher level, higher gear tiers eventually, that are all stuck on Carbantes. And the greediest Carbante-loving character out of this bunch is Kenobi. I don't know if this is Kenobi's 4 Carbante. Yes, it is. So 4 Carbantes on this level. 4 Carbantes. So if we committed to this upgrade right here, it would be good for the account, but it would take up all of our Carbantes for the week. So we're not going to do that quite yet. We're going to commit Carbantes over here first. Harrison Dula needs a Carbante. Or 2. Let's see. Okay, just the one there. So we'll upgrade her. Okay. We're back at another stun gun. And another projector. Once we click this projector, we're done. Right? We're done with all these other characters. Because they all need projectors. We only have one more. Jin needs it. Padme needs it. Chupio. Okay, how good is it to have Harrison Dula at a higher level? I feel like that's not a very good purchase. But these 7 are the journey characters, so we don't want to get too off track. Let's look at Jin Erso. Let's give her the upgrade. That'll stop everything else that needs the projectors, though. That's fine. That's fine. She can go in. Maybe it's time to actually build the Radis team. Let's look. Let's look. Let's see what we can do for Radis here. Okay, he needs 2 Carbantes, huh? Alright, well, we'll lock down 1 stun gun on him. And then we'll equip some other stuff here. And we'll just have to wait till next week for another Carbante. And then I think we want to go in here and make another guild request. I've been requesting these. I still don't have a lot of them. So let's keep that piece as my request piece. And I think we can start putting together the Radis team, right? Getting close. All right, let's upgrade Biston here. Give him gear tiers. Look at us go. 14 million. Let's go ahead and take his level up to 85. Slap some skills on him. Gotta watch those purple materials, right? Frenzy duration +1. If that's an Omega ability, right? Getting a 4th Frenzy is pretty good. We'll go ahead and commit that. Gunner Tactics. The 8th level is a cooldown. Takes it from cooldown 4 to cooldown 3. That's a pretty big deal. We'll commit that. Amped up. No Omega on this, so we can just max it out. Okay. Got a promotion on him. Alright. Yeah, we're still a ways off on our... Because we want Radis, Cassian, Jin, and then Biston, and the Scarif. And we'll go ahead and invest a bunch in him too. 6 million right off the bat. Give him some upgrades. And this way, once we get working on Biston's U-Wing, we can actually use Biston's U-Wing somewhere. This, I think, accuracy up. Yeah, accuracy up, not that great. Usually foresight, I mean, accuracy up doesn't help against foresight, does it? Cooldown -1. Yeah, we're not going to commit to that yet. Okay. Yeah, we'll just leave that there for now. Okay, let's activate the U-Wing. I mean, we do have this activatable. Get the ship up and running. And like I said, I don't necessarily know that we've got a real a great place for it in a fleet, but we do have a rebel fleet kind of somewhere in the background getting built up. We got Biggs at gear 12. That was part of our initial strategy. Let's put this at like level 70 just to get it started. Throw a couple skill levels on it. Fine. I like this method of just investing a little bit now, a little bit later, and then finish it out when we're ready to actually have it run as a ship. We're not going to mod the Scarif yet. Maybe in the next week or two we'll get to the point where we can start modding these guys. Alright, Dash Rendar. Poke a few upgrades onto him. And that is pretty much due to those... Yeah, we're going to be out of those pieces again. Look at this. Or are we out of a different piece? Oh, because it needs the Mark III projector. So he's going to need 2 projectors for this level. Alright. We'll get some projectors. Now we go back out to characters and we see if there's anything else that has some pluses. And we have completely eliminated the pluses on all the other characters. Yep. Mandalorian's got pluses. Alright, alright. Let's get on in there. And then we're out of Mark IIs again. But that was good. We had enough Mark IIs that we got some stuff done. Yeah, we did. Pretty good week for gearing. 4 full Carbantes. Makes me satisfied. Alright, pretty happy with our gear allocation. Let's go look before we spend any more money and see if there's... Oh, Dooku. We can grab shards off of Dooku. He's got 147, so he's got 47 spare shards for our shard shop. Go ahead and grab those extra shards. Dooku being at 7 stars is a good thing. Here's Luke. He doesn't have anything extra for us, really, but putting him at 7 stars gets him ready for the CLS mission whenever we want to do that. Stormtrooper Han can have an upgrade. Hey, we're almost ready for CLS mission, huh? What do we need old Ben? We'd have to get old Ben. Rebel Officer Leia Organa, look at this. At first, the guild is still on Hoth, and I didn't like that, and I kind of, wanted to get into a better guild that was doing light side geo, which I did. And then I came back to the guild with the Foundlings, doing Hoth. And on one hand, it's slowing down my capital ship builds a little bit. We're not getting the Negotiator and Malevolence as fast as we normally would. But Rolo is the payoff. So I think with a couple more Hoths, we'll have Rolo. We got like 44 shards of her last time or something. So if we can do that at least twice more, which I think we'll probably do 2 or 3 more of those before we try light side geo, or maybe we'll go to light side geo and come back. I don't know. But anyway, we're on the final star for Rolo because I'm doing Hoth. And it hasn't been that bad. It hasn't slowed down my capital ships by that much. Surprisingly. It's not bad. I am not unhappy with it. Because basically, doing light side geo would give me more get to, which would get me ships faster, but then eventually I would have to spend that get to on Rolo anyway. So I feel like it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad trade-off. So if you're in a guild that's doing light side Hoth, as long as everybody's getting their Rolo shards, it's not bad. Not bad. All right, let's catch up on chat again. Probably Cassian with the potential Omicron. I hammer on those first 2 steps. Nothing left over, says Van Ward. I'm a few steps ahead of my plan. Basically, I have everything I need to Relic Bam and already planning to Relic Wampa. Nice. Nice. That's every tune needing a Carbonti for its current gear level only, says Van Ward. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so most characters, you click them on that level and they needed a Carbonti for their next level anyway. Carbontis come just from finishing your dailies and doing the challenge in the guild store. That's true. It's true, but you only get 60 a week, or 62 or 64, or whatever you get. You get 3 payouts a week where you get Carbontis. So to get 200 in a week, you got to buy a lot of them out of the shop, or have a node that you're farming that has a lot of them, on it, whatever. But no, you don't get 200 Carbontis a week just by luck. And for anybody who's watched my gear efficiency video, I did all the gear for a huge mass of characters and proved out that if you set a timeline that you can get all the rest of the gear, you will never have enough Carbontis. The one piece that you can never get enough of is literally Carbontis is the limiting factor for your whole account, holistically. That's the piece that you have to focus on and buy and get some of every week out of the guild store or the other shops. That's the one piece that you just won't get enough of, not by event rewards, not by anything. You can never catch up on Carbontis. Statistically, that's the case. Griff is in the house. Profundity soon is exciting. I think I'm unlocking on 2nd event. Radis team will need a ton of mods to get going for me. Curious how they work for you in GAC. Yeah, we still got baby characters. So I think if I had to kind of rate the Radis team, when I look at it, it feels like a B tier team. long term. I mean, it doesn't have enough. It doesn't have a speed gimmick, right? It's not going 400 speed. It's not Zam. It's not got a massive damage gimmick like Qui-Gon. So it's basically a timeout team that doesn't have a massive speed boost. So I think at low GAC levels, the team is going to be terrifying. Just like, a long time ago, sometimes if you look at your opponent's team, you could just put Enfys Nest on defense and go, okay, I have a Relic Enfys Nest, and every single team you have is going to time out against that. Like, you have nothing that can beat Nest. Lol, good game. I think the Radis team is going to be like that. It's going to be for lower level players who don't have the right tools in their toolbox. If they don't have a clone trooper team, an Imperial trooper team, or a pretty decent Vader team, I think they'll just time out against Radis. Anybody with a high damage team, CLS, with clone troopers, Imperial troopers, I think all those teams will beat the Radis team. So I don't think it's like a top non-meta team. But I think it's going to be really difficult for people in Bronzium, Chromium, even lower Rhodium. I think nobody's going to have the answer for it. They're going to have to use one of their best teams to beat it. Because a bunch of those characters are going to be Relic, right? 4 of them. Radis, Cassian, Jin, and Biston if you do that. Yeah. Somebody had a question for the DL account. What was that? What did I miss? Question for the DL account. Are you planning to get Executor 7 stars before pumping crystals into Profundity, or take some time to approach the Negotiator Malevolence? In my update today, I don't think I'm going to push the stars on the Executor. I got first place in Fleet today. I think I got first place, but I think my payout passed during the battle because I finished with 23 seconds left on the clock. So I'm pretty sure my payout is going to be number 4. But I actually beat the number 1 player if I would have been in time. So I'm beating all the Executors in the Loquitur Shard, including Executors that are like 600,000 galactic power. They're finished Executors with Relic 9, Piet, all of it. And I'm able to score in Fleet Arena. So I don't think I need to hurry. Now, if somebody in my shard gets Profundity right away, and Executor can't beat Profundity, I may be forced to rethink that. So we'll see how the dynamics of this shake out. But no, I think Executor is just going to, take a year for me to get to 7 stars. We'll see. Right now, I don't have plans to push it. I think my plan is to just slow roll it and see what happens. I'm nearing the end of being able to farm ship energy characters and ships. What do you recommend at that point to farm? Ship frags for the shard shop? So Scott Mobley asked that question. I mean, when it's hard node day, on my main account, I got to that point. Everything was pretty much farmed out. So on hard node day, there's a ship node that has like Young Lando and a ship on it. There's Grief and a ship on a node. So there's one more. I'm pretty sure there's 3 nodes that have like a character and a ship on them. So I farm those on hard days just to get more quest or objective completion for the guild quest for the day, and then convert to shard shop currency just like you said. But normally no. On all other 6 days of the week, just farm this stuff. Farm your lenses. If I'm ever at a point where I don't actively need a farm, I've gotten there before where it was just like, I was waiting on something else. If you're not actively farming something like this, always farm the lenses. Those lenses get converted for relic materials, so you can always use them for Zimbital cards, right? We can always use those for Zimbital cards, and that's a pretty good node. That's the best fleet farming node there is. You just farm that node for fleet over and over again. All right. Heretic says, current plan I think is alternating light side Geo and Hoth, either next one or after. All right, so we're going to start doing some Geo and some Hoth. That's fine. You know, I like that. I think we should do the light side Geo, get some practice for people. I mean, the first few times we'll do it, it'll be a bit fumbly, I imagine, but we'll get a routine down. But, you know, we'll hit up Hoth a couple more times probably before we convert fully to light side Geo. And it's nice because I'll get my Rolo out of that. The AdRad team reminds me of Iden in a way. Yeah, Wilson Young, that's a good example. It's kind of like the Iden team. It's beatable, but I think the Iden team is better. Yeah. It's a worse version of the Iden team. It's a not quite as good Iden. Did you use Ebonhawk to beat other Executor fleets? No, killed by Rangar. I am not. I'm using a strategy where I know that I'm going to go second, and I'm very careful about my first few shots against the opposing Hound's Tooth, and then I try to kill the opposing Xanadu Blood. If I can't get to their Xanadu Blood, then a lot of times I can kill the opposing Razor Crest in 2 rounds. As long as I can eliminate one of their ships, I can't believe it. I can't believe how often it happens. But as long as I can get one of their ships out pretty quickly, I win the race to the alt now. I was able to, in this last week, I was able to skill up the ship. I got it to 85, and I was able to skill it up and get the alt cooldowns down from 28. And, yeah, I'm routinely getting my alt off against the opponent. No Ebonhawk, and I'm oftentimes doing my first reinforcement with Plo, which is horrible because it doesn't help you get your target locks or all that stuff. But that one boost, that one time that Plo comes in, boosts your turn meter, it puts my ships then ahead of the opponent's ships, and I get 3 shots that the opponent isn't getting. And that's usually, I feel like, what's turning the tide of the battle for me. So once I get this down better, I'll try to make a video of how I'm doing it. Right now, it's getting more consistent. I'm still working my way through it, but I'll try to put together a video of that. Cody Lay says, I would love to see how you beat the 7-star Executors. I'm having a hard time beating them. Well, sometimes, I mean, you get bad RNG and they get a crit. And what'll happen is, if all their ships are faster than yours, they'll kill your Razor Crest instantly. You won't even get a turn because their capital ship goes first. Their other ships are all high relics. They all go before your ships. And then, I mean, you can lose your Razor Crest. Then you just forfeit. Right? Like, there's no reason to play that battle. You're not going to win that. So if that happens, then you're kind of sunk. But yeah, a lot of times they won't kill my Razor Crest. I can use that first round to just heal. I'm not in a hurry, so I heal my guys, clear the buffs, and then bring in a reinforcement. Then do the mass assist when I have a ship marked. So I'll keep working on it. Is your Xanadu Blood 7 stars? Yeah, my Xanadu Blood's now 7 stars, and my IG 2000 is still 6. My IG 2000 is still at 6. All right, speaking of ships, we got to go in and see if there's other ship upgrades we can do to this Obticeo account. I get yakking. I don't want to forget this Hyena Bomber. 100 blueprints upgrade. Get it. Done. We are done with the Hyena Bomber. Feels like such a huge victory. You know what, Hyena Bomber? You got all your skills. You got all your stars. Get out of my favorites. Still one of my favorite ships, but you got to go. You got to go bye-bye. All right, TIE Bomber, we got no stars there. Houndstooth, we could probably piddle with that a little bit, right? Outrider, we probably can work on. Let's look at the Outrider. Okay, we can get a couple more skills here. We can get levels. It's part of our journey, so we're just going to sink every credit we is okay. Before we do that, let's just make sure there's not another ship that would benefit a lot from us investing. See, there's that Rebel Y-Wing. We're at 54 out of 65. 53 out of 65 here, and then Biston's U-Wing, we're way behind on that. So farming that out of the shop was not the answer. We got to get busy. Get busy with Biston's U-Wing. For show. Advanced. Rex's Arc. Ghost Phantom. Home 1. I don't see anything here that's inspiring me to really want to invest. Can't unlock the Razor Crest yet because we got no Beskar Mandos. Alright. Up top. Outrider. Level it up to 85. Spend all that juicy currency. Goodbye. Okay. We're not even going to have the currency to level it up much. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, let's see. Nope, don't need that yet. Critical chance, data transmission. We'll need that eventually. We'll upgrade the 5 Omega part of it. And then where do we want to put our ship Omega for the week? Let's find a good ship that needs a ship Omega. Do we need anything on Houndstooth that we're lacking? Yes. Damage on that. Damage on that. That's not... I don't really care. Houndstooth, not known for its damage. How about Plo? You need anything on Plo still? Critical immunity's nice. Protection up, extra damage. Nope, don't care about any of that. Alright. Rebels can't attack out of turn while burning. That may be useful at some point. And then we're out of money. Out of ship credits. We are done. Done with ships for the week. Alright. My guild is facing yours in TW. Looking forward to it. Nice. Cool, Emmanuel. Let's see how it goes. Our guild cheats. We got a couple people with some pretty big stuff. Although we've won quite a few, so we've escalated to the point now where we're starting to fight guilds that also have a bunch of big stuff. So we can't like put up the cheesy Galactic Legend front wall as effectively as we did. With Cassian Omicron, the whole team could transform. The Cassian Omicron. So you're saying Cassian's going to get an Omicron? Or already got one? I'm always behind an announcement, guys. I never know. Okay, so he doesn't have one yet, but yeah, if Cassian gets an Omicron that goes with the Radis team, that's gonna be juicy. That's gonna be juicy. I'm gonna like that a lot. I gotta admit. You know what else we could do? We should put a little bit more effort into this Grievous team. That would be good. Oh, we're pretty much out of money over here too. Okay, never mind. We're not going to work on the Grievous team. We're out of money everywhere. Well, we can put together this Rogue One squad. Yeah, if Cassian's getting an Omicron, I'm sitting on that. I'm not going to Omicron anything until we see what that is. I feel like this is a good team. I know some people have put in the Baze Chirrut, but Baze and Chirrut make this more of a timeout team, and I don't think it needs to be a timeout team. I think Biston can generate a ton of damage in this team because he's going to be able to frenzy a lot in this team, right? 7, cooldown 7, frenzy for 4 turns. So if he can, if he does any decent damage at relic level, we can just blast him. Blast him. He'll just be sitting there using gunner tactics and rattling off tons of basics. And then the Pathfinder, isn't he the guy that resurrects himself? Yeah, if he's defeated while he has buffs, he revives. And then I feel like Biston, doesn't his basic inflicts damage over time? Maybe it's Cassian. I feel like one of these characters actually, their basic ability gives buffs. That's buff immunity. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Gain advantage. Okay. So it gives herself a buff. Okay, never mind. I thought one of these characters like gave a buff to a character. Yeah, here we go. This is it. Deal special damage to target enemy and grant the weakest ally protection up. So if he dies and resurrects and Radis gets a turn and does a basic, he'll give protection up so he can resurrect himself again. I feel like this is it. This is it. Maybe that's it. But yeah, if we can get an Omicron on Cassian, we'll slap that on next week or whenever it comes out, and we'll just make that team do everything we can. Radis also has an Omni though, right? He's got the leadership, has an Omicron. Yeah, so we'll need 2 Omnis for this team then, if we want to use it in Grand Arena. CG said Cassian Omni incoming for Andor. Oh, okay, nice. Nice. He's going to get one. It'll probably not be a GAC one, though, right? So what they've seen with the new teams is that they'll give like one character Grand Arena Omicron, then they'll give another character a Territory War Omicron, something like that. So then you can take that team and you can put the Omicron on Radis for the Grand Arena stuff, and you can put the Omicron on Cassian for Territory Wars. And I hope that's what they do. Honestly, I really hope that the Cassian is a Territory War thing or a Territory Battle thing. If that team, oh my God, if that team can do 4-wave clears in Territory battles, this journey just even got more ridiculous. If you can get a full fleet, a Grand Arena team, and something that does four waves in Territory Wars, that would be insane for the cost of an Omicron. Let's do it. Come on, CG. Make it a Territory Battle Omicron for Lightside Geo. Get it done. Thoughts on SRP versus K2SO? I like K2SO. The problem with K2SO is that in some teams, for example, if you wanted to play him in, you could put him in like a Dash Rendar team, but then he's taking away the taunt from the character that you want to hit, right? So you have to be careful with K2SO what team you put him in. He can work good in a Mon Mothma team. In that Admiral Radis team, K2SO isn't going to do that much damage. He'd be durable, for sure he'd be durable. Especially if you put I put the Zeta on him on my main account, And that 1% protection per hit doesn't seem like much. But when you go up against a team that assists a lot, he's gaining like 2, 3, 4% every time they go. And if you add it up, he can easily have like 20% protection, die, get resurrected, come back. So I looked at that. I really did look at that on my Loquitur account as a possibility for this team. But my thought is the Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, Biston's U-Wing is a good starting ship for the Home 1 fleet with the Han's Millennium Falcon. So once the Millennium Falcon goes away and we have to rebuild this Home 1 fleet, I don't know where Biston's ship ends up. But basically, the Scarif Rebel Pathfinder should be able to tank almost as well as K2, and he has the self-resurrect thing while he has a buff, which is super annoying and has to be shut down by your opponent. And he's part of the same ship as Biston, and we're going to Relic Biston anyway. So my feeling was probably better with the Scarif in there just for the purposes of fleet. I feel like Biston's U-Wing is a starting ship and probably needs relics. Cassian's ship is a reinforcement, so K2 being relic is less relevant. That was my thought process. I mean, I don't know that I'm right. Somebody out there with better theory crafting than me will probably figure out, honestly, if there's better synergy here with K2. What else does he have? I mean, he's just got like damage all, offense down, gain taunt. Yeah, he's, I don't know, he's okay. His taunt is easy to clear. It doesn't come back. K2's taunt comes back. We'll have to see. We can imagine he'll get it tomorrow when they release the Profundity kit. It could be a Conquest Omni. If it's a Conquest Omni, that's even more insane. If that, oh my God. If it's a Conquest Omni, then I think every new player just has to build Profundity. If that got you no, they can't do a Conquest Omicron. That would be way too good. It'd be way too good. Conquest Omnis are the worst. There's only one in the game that I'm aware of. Besides 50 RT, what other Conquest Omnis are there? Believe me, if you can get a Conquest Omicron that allows you to take a team like Radis and clear with 3 stars in Conquest reliably, that's Galactic Legend level performance for the cost of an Omicron. Only 50 RT. Yeah. Once you have 4 million GP, you won't need Omnis to do Conquest. Charles, are you in hard Conquest at 4 million GP? I mean, I'm not trying to snipe at you. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just saying, this Loquitur account, barely over 4 million GP. I clear all 5 zones in Conquest, but it is an absolute slog for me. And Jedi Master Kenobi gets run down to like 30%. And for the entire Conquest, if he ever makes it back to 100%, I would be furious with myself. So that team is constantly low on stamina because it's my best progress team to guarantee 3 stars. Getting another team in here that could perform like that for the cost of 1 Omicron and free that team up then to do tricks and do feats. Because remember, you can do feats behind Kenobi. You can, like I showed in my Loquitur update. I made a Rey. I put her in so I could make use of the dyad disc. Threw in Kenobi and a couple characters and use that to complete feats. But on something where I have to complete 50 battles, I can't even possibly do it. Or let's say I have to get 50 kills with something. I can't do it. I can't help with my best team because they're tied up just doing progress. So the problem with with doing hard conquest at 4 million, you'll have teams that can clear. You want to be able to clear with 3 stars, and you can't use your best characters to kind of gimmick the other feats, which is where you want to be. On my main account, I could do that. I could clear with a bunch of different teams and then use Kylo Ren unmasked or other characters to kind of cheese through other feats. And it made it nice and smooth. But if you're low GP, man, seriously, getting an Omicron that would put you at a completion level team for hard conquest, I think it'd be insane. The great thing is everybody can have different opinions, and nobody necessarily has to be wrong. You can hate Conquest Omicrons. That's fine. I think it would be a fantastic benefit to have a team like that that could do GAC and also Conquest. That would be insane. Cody Lay says, just took first in fleet after listening to what you said about the Executor versus Executor. Nice. Good job, Cody. Glad I can help. TK says, I have 5.3 million and can't red crate every time. Yeah, hard conquest is hard. For people that have everything, it's not hard, but for most of us who are slogging along somewhere in the middle, it's not an easy thing. All right, let's delete guild orders. Take our 5th place reward. Bronzium 2. I got relegated. Oh, man. Back down to Bronzium 2 with a 1 and 2 week. Got number 6. Not very happy with getting number 6, but, it is what happens. Oh, I know. We still have one more thing to do. Can't forget, I have to make my weekly purchase of Relic 8 materials. Right, so let's go pick a Relic. Ooh, gotta pick a Relic 7. And get on those Aero magnifiers. Find that. Make a purchase. $12.50 in the bank. Boop. All right. 13. 2 more weeks, we'll be able to Relic 8 Cassian. Obviously, he won't be Relic'd yet, but we'll have the materials to do it. How am I doing on the shock absorbers? I feel like I've made some of them. Yeah, we've got 30 of those. I've been able to use some of these to make impulse detectors over time. So I've been hitting that up. So we've got some impulse detectors. Those are a beast to make. Maybe we'll farm bayonets for the next week. This node is great. Gets you these bayonets for the for those shock absorbers. Gets these Mark III hollow projectors that we need. Gets Mark 8 biotech. I've got a ton of biotech on this account. It came with the hyperdrive bundle and just the way that I'm like leveling up characters. We've got like 720 of this and 600 of the other. And you just know that at some point that's going to catch up to you and I'll be at 0. It's just I appear to be picking characters that don't use that material quite as heavily. All right, let's go. I think that's all we're going to do for the week. So let's sign up for Grand Arena. One more round to go in this season. And then we're back to 3v3. DL, good to be with you. Blessed Carrot. Fellow Inquisitors, how you all doing? Blessed Carrot, it's like 2 in the morning. Dude, man, get some sleep. That's funny. Just another consumer. Maybe you'll run into me in Bronzium 2. You'll destroy me. I don't know about that. If you're in Bronzium 2, we're probably fairly evenly matched because we're both playing, right? We're both trying. Cal G says, same thing happened to me in GAC 6 weeks ahead of you. Was going to ask where you stood in GAC and if Chromium was in your future. Yeah, Chromium is in my future. I feel like we're already at the position where we're going to push up into chromium soon. Yeah, I feel like. I mean, as long as I do a 2-1 run next round, we'll be back in Bronzium 1 and get pushed up to chromium. If I don't, we'll stay in Bronzium for the 3v3 round. That's also fine with me. You know, I'm not even going to say whether or not I'm ready for chromium. Just keep pushing until we get stopped, you know. My ult is 52 SP behind you in Bronzium 2. Ah, interesting. Blessed Carrot says, gotta share. Now at number 5 skill rating in my guild. Nice, Carrot. All right. Blessed Carrot's at work. Interesting. Heretic says, I got smashed in chromium. Chromium is brutal, at least for me, at a similar 2.4 million. A lot of hard matchups. Huh. Do you have 4 fleets ready? Nope. Nope. Hyena Bomber DL. We got the Hyena Bomber built, right? Can you show one matchup on your DL with the Executor? I probably can. Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Go over here for some Fleet Arena. So we can pick either the biggest dog in the block or we can pick the 522. This guy, I think, has pretty fast ships, right? So the Xanadu Blood is under-geared. This is Relic 5. And that's got to be, of course, Relic for the journey. So he's a little weaker on his Xanadu Blood, but better on his other ships. This guy's just got Relic 5 here. I think his BAM might be Relic 8. Something crazy. No, he's at Relic 4 too. Must be a different guy that I'm thinking of. Relic 5. So his ships are similar to mine. I think Relic 8. So we can try against this guy if y'all want to see it. Deep depression now. Just deleted 300 mods by accident. I will never not lock a good mod again. Oh. Yeah. 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 I'm terrified of that. I like, in my videos, people can see me clicking individual mods to sell, and they're like, oh man, just sell all your 3-dot mods. And I'm like, man, I have seen so many horror stories about people that just click sell all. I am not going to be that person. Okay. So Razor Crest. Let's look here. Left, right, center. Left, right, center. So we want this. Okay? DL, do you ever think about going back to scouting now that you have extra time since dropping the main? I live and die by scouting. It works so well to take down with an opponent with 2 million GP. All right, so let's focus on this matchup. So the big thing is we want their Xanadu Blood to go first if possible, and we don't want Houndstooth taunting when that happens. So we're going to hit Houndstooth. Then we're going to get a chance to go with our Razor Crest. Yeah, see, this is messed up. So our Xanadu Blood somehow got ahead of our Razor Crest. That happens sometimes. So we're going to go over here on the Mandalorian, and we're going to do this attack and assist. That'll get a breach, and it'll get the lock on. And this is probably a lost match right now, but we're going to keep trying. So right now we have to heal. We cannot leave that mark on our Razor Crest, or we will definitely lose. Okay, so we get a decent hit off on the Razor Crest. We didn't kill it. And the risk here is if we don't actually kill his Razor Crest before he gets to the heal on his capital ship, it's going to go badly for us. So we got to bring in the IG-2000, get a double hit off here, and that should be good. Okay, so he's already got the locked ability block on me, which is bad. It's bad for us. We'll get our mass assist off here. We're going to try to put a lot of damage down on the Xanadu blood. I don't think we'll kill it, but if we can get close, that'll be good. We're just taking as many hits as we can, so we're going to call this IG-2000 to hit. We're just trying to get as many hits as we can. All right, he calls in. Yeah, it's going to go badly for us there. All right, so the only hope now is if we actually get to the ult before he does, which I don't think is going to happen. Don't think we get this one, guys. Okay. We got a target here. If we target the guy with chaff, then we're not making any progress on our ult. So he gets to his ult first, and this battle's lost. So this isn't a good example of winning. I don't quite understand why my Xanadu blood. I feel like under normal circumstances, the Xanadu goes after. So I gotta check something here. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to pull this one out. It's lost. Gotta check something real quick here, guys. Okay, Xanadu blood. 179. Razor Crest. 181. Yeah, Razor Crest should go. How did he steal turn meter from me? What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Somehow stole turn meter from my Razor Crest. Breached. Or Xanadu blood gained turn meter. No. I'm missing something, guys. What am I missing? How did my slower Xanadu blood get ahead of my Razor Crest? Yeah, screw that sell button, says Love Machine. Yeah, yikes. Hey, I found out that +1 mod at 6 dot does not increase your speed. You need +2. Yeah, okay, so you're saying if you just 6.1 mod, it's not necessarily 1 speed? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Blessed Carrot says, I got a tough question for you. How can one JML tunes an Ebon Hawk ship? Many Cantina farms. Patience. A lot of patience and a lot of time. I haven't even worked on Ebon Hawk yet. I've not even worked on the Ebon Hawk. Man, you must be a rocket scientist to understand those mirrors. On the topic of ship What's the angle on Negotiator? Just unlock it, pondering the optimal fleet. Anakin is a starting ship, Houndstooth or BTLB Y-Wing, and then 5s or Ahsoka. The starting 3 have some pretty good flexibility on Negotiator. As long as you got a good Relic Anakin with a 7-star Anakin ship, that's the heart of the fleet. Put him behind a tank and one other ship and just go. Elliot Hopwell says when he reads every chat except yours. Hey DL, I just had a thought. Are they bringing out Red 5? What if that's the win condition for profundity? We assume it'll be like Executor and win due to the alt. But what if it's synergy? No, I don't think there's any Red 5 coming out. I think the win condition on the profundity is getting that download. I think whatever happens with download is going to be the equivalent of what Executor does. It's going to be... I would love it if it's just an escape. You download it, and then you have to escape with your capital ship. So it's just like, once you get the download, you click the alt on your capital ship, you escape, you win. I would love it. I would love it if it was something like that. It would probably be a little too busted, but yeah, I think download is the mechanic. What is it that caused me to lose turn meter? This is driving me bonkers, guys. I need to understand this. Enemies attacking out of turn deal less damage, dispel all 20 times, inflicted with breach, chaff, 10% health and protection. Enemy capital ship gain protection, start cooldown. Driving me crazy. Can't be evaded or resisted. Huh. I don't know. Huh. Because all that he did was the capital ship attack and the mass assist. And somehow, that was enough. I don't know. I noticed that turn meter loss in my battles, but I can't figure it out either. Maybe it's on this skill. I don't get it. It's driving me crazy. Okay, skip it. I don't think I'm going to figure it out right now. But the Xanadu Blood should go after the Razor Crest. So the Razor Crest should get turns, and then the Xanadu Blood should get turns. And being careful with that initial Houndstooth hit, getting an early kill on the opposing fleet, and that usually puts you ahead enough that you can win out the rest of the battle. Does anything breach on basic? Mass assist could do that. Maybe it's bugged. Passive on the Razor Crest. Razor Crest does gain speed on breach, but I don't think that was enough. Yeah, Xanadu Blood can breach on a basic, right? Is it Xanadu Blood? think Xanadu can breach on a basic. Let me take a look here. Inflict breach for 2 turns, yeah, so... Breach doesn't remove turn meter, though, does it? Yeah, okay. How does breach remove turn meter? Because the issue was he did a mass assist and my speed on my Razor Crest dropped. Mark Valkorian says, did you drop your main? I haven't watched your streams in a while. Yeah, I did, Mark. There was just too much stuff. Running 3 accounts was kicking my butt. So yeah. There was a question about scouting earlier. Have I thought about going back to scouting? So yes and no. How do I want to phrase this? I think for me, setting a standard defense and using the same thing on offense all the time gives me a much cleaner run in my own mind. So I kind of know of my offensive teams what I can do, what I can beat. And if I start mixing and matching my offense and defense teams all the time, then, you know, I'm constantly trying to figure out on stream what teams I still have left. And for me, that moment where you're fumbling around trying to, like the last stream on Sunday, I probably spent 20 minutes trying to sort out which teams I was going to use against which characters. And if I had changed my defense around and had all kinds of different teams on offense, that makes that even harder. So for me, for entertaining you guys, for running the GACs, the scouting has not been that rewarding for me. So I don't know if I'll go back to doing that at some point. I don't know, honestly, if you go back and look. I mean, when I'm fighting an 8 million galactic power account, like the guy I fought at the end of the series with Loquitur, what am I going to do there? You know, 4 million to 8 million? How do I scout that all I want? But it comes down to the same kind of defensive strategy that I'm already using. I don't know what I would do that would be better. So that's it. I mean, I just mixing up my offenses and defenses every time. I think it's just going to be less efficient for me trying to play. I think when you get up to Kyber, like where I was with my main account, if I wanted to be more successful with my main account, I really needed to go back to scouting and setting up. Because there, I have enough good defensive teams that I could change my defenses and still have plenty of offense. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's a cop-out. Maybe I just don't want to do it. I'm trying to give you an honest answer about why I don't do the scouting like I used to. But maybe I'm just lazy at the end of the day. But I really, if you keep the same teams on offense all the time and you become much more familiar with what those teams can do and what counters they can pull off, then for me it feels like, you know, you're in control. Whereas if you're trying to figure out, you know, what beats what, it's less smooth. Breach is indeed minus 25 speed and defense. Okay, so you're saying the opposing capital ship goes at like 192, and because of the effect of breach that it slows your ship down, then it gains less speed than the... Okay, less speed than the Xanadu Blood. So it must be just because his capital ship is so much faster that it's able to get rid of that speed. Then what do I need to do? I need to slow down my Xanadu Blood at that point, right? if I want my Xanadu Blood. I guess I don't mind if it goes before the Razor Crest. I guess I don't mind so much. You know what? I'm going to experiment with that. Maybe I want that all the time. Slow my Razor Crest down so my Xanadu Blood goes first, and see if that's even better. Because maybe having Xanadu Blood go first is meaningful. In which case I shouldn't have taken Mandalorian to Relic 4. Or I need to take Cad Bane up. Maybe I could put Cad Bane at like Relic 6 or 7. Speed this ship up a little bit. Get that to like 182. I might be able to do that just with mods. I always got one good mod on him. So I could get probably 1, 2, 3 speed out of mods. That's enough, right? That's all I need is 3 speed. I don't want Cad Bane's speed. Come on. So we got to find mods that are good enough for Cad Bane to put to 6 dot. And that should put him at 182. I'm interested to try that. I think that could be even better. That could be I want the opponent's Xanadu Blood to go before my Xanadu Blood. That's the issue. I want their Xanadu Blood to go first so that he's out of stealth. That would be ideal. 166. Yikes. $179, same as mine. Relic 5. Or is that me? That's not me. Interesting. 178. So I may be in the situation of again wanting to drop the speed on Beskar Mando. I should have just Relic 0 that fool. Or not Zated him. I thought I was clever by leaving him at Relic 4. Okay, so we can mess around with that, but what we could do is we could just make the Xanadu Blood faster. I got experiments that I need to run. Nothing of which to do with Obticeo, and this is the Obticeo account update stream, so I'm wasting everyone's Obticeo time. Let's see if we got any more questions over here. When I scout, I can predict their defenses with 99% accuracy and plan my counters in advance. You want to talk about clean runs? Yeah. Beaten 8 million accounts with 5.4. Yeah, all right. I don't know what to say to that, Kyber Soze. I should probably do it. I'll think about it. I'll take a look at it, see if I can find the time. Hitting everything will give opponents Houndstooth turn meter, though. We don't care. So at the point where Xanadu Blood goes, you'll get Breach from doing his special skill. And if you call the Mandalorian to assist, you'll get the mark from Mandalorian's basic. So at that point, we no longer care if Houndstooth taunts, because we've already marked the character that we want. That's the ticket. I could also, I was going to say I could experiment with the 3 attacker fleet, but I think if the 3 attacker fleet goes second, it's probably just over. Probably just lose at that point. Best part of profundity will be killing the Executor. Carrot says, why slow down? I prefer Xanadu first. Yeah, that's the issue, Blessed Carrot. My Razor Crest is actually faster than my Xanadu Blood. So it's not going first, and I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to the Razor Crest going first, where maybe it would be better if Xanadu Blood went first. That's what I'm saying. It's probably better that way. What about IG 2000 Bosk Mando? Bring on CAD by the time you bring on Boba, you can usually do ability block. I don't know about bringing Cad Bane in as a reinforcement. The IG 2000 is pretty frail, and so Xanadu Blood comes in under stealth, and the Razor Crest has 2 lives. Otherwise, the opponent could target the IG 2000 and one-shot it with the capital ship's ability. I think if I did the Xanadu Blood instead, or the IG 2000 instead of Xanadu, when I get it to 7 stars, maybe that's not the case. But I think with a 6-star IG 2000, I think it just gets annihilated instantly by the enemy capital ship. Elliot Hopewell is getting angry. What question did I ignore? If it somehow incorporates having multiple of the new Rebel ships 7-star. I don't understand your question, Elliot. So if profundity somehow incorporates multiples of the new Rebel ship 7-star and any new possible ships they'll make for money, and it can't be an auto win like Executor, I don't understand your question, Elliot. It usually survives. IG 2000 usually survives. Yeah. You lost a subscriber. All right, Elliot. That's all right. See you later, man. All right, well, that's probably going to wrap it up for me for the channel for tonight. We got our improvements in on the Obticeo account. We're able to lock in for the next round of Grand Arena with that 7-star Hyena Bomber. And in as good a shape as we can expect to be. By the time we get into 3s, we'll be able to put some better 3s teams on the table than we have before. We'll have Grievous that can mess with people. We'll have clone teams. We'll have potentially get that Wampa sometime soon. Get Mon Mothma to Relic. And then we'll be ready for the next 5s. So I think it's a good path. I think it's going in the right way. All right. Thanks, DL. Thanks for all the content. Blackbird says, love your content. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Remember to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more stuff in the future. And join us over on Discord. You know, I think most of the people in the stream right now are part of Discord, but for other people who are watching, you know, we'll hook you up over in Discord. Come hang out. And Elliot Hopwell, have no fear. I am going to ignore your comments, and I'm going to refund your Patreon. And we'll see you later, man. All right. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you all. And I'll see you in the next holocron.